Hello, and thank you for joining us at another of the Concord Monitor's City Candidate Forums for 2025. We're here this evening with one of the two candidates running in the city's Ward 9 City Council race. Incumbent Chris Schultz has not joined us this evening, but we are here with Andrew Georgievitz, who is challenging her for that seat. My name is Catherine McLaughlin. I am the Concord Monitor City reporter, and I'm joined by Rebecca Pereira, our news editor. We're going to kick things off with an opening statement. Andrew, go ahead.
Well, thank you, Catherine, very much, and Rebecca for having us here tonight at Concord Television. Voters, my name is Andrew Georgievitz. I have lived in Concord my entire life of 38 years. Very blessed to have two wonderful sons and a wife that is very tolerant of me in running for these positions. I look back when I was in this studio my sophomore year and looking at how the city has changed. Taxes have only gone up, homelessness has only increased, and development has almost come to a standstill. As someone that works daily with construction at my job at Sunbelt Rentals, I like to see what it takes to get things done in different developing areas around the state. What's most important for the city right now is crime being addressed, homelessness being addressed, and infrastructure being addressed. Those three things are what I would focus on. I have no social agenda, but I'm a fiscal conservative. Your money and my money that goes into taxes is the most important thing in making it spent wisely.
Great. You mentioned at the outset wanting to do more about homelessness in the city and a concern for public safety. What should the city do both to address the issue and to address public safety related to it that Concord is not already doing?
So right now, when I was growing up, we had one homeless individual on Manchester Street that would beg for change, and now it's every street corner. Right now we have a panhandling law that you need to be seen giving the money, stepping off a curb, and then you get a violation. Enforce the laws we have, enforce the policies that we have to keep our streets safer. You're not going to go downtown if there's homeless people sprawled out on the block, or if there's feces or needles. You want to go where it's safe. And addressing that should be the main concern of the City Council, of not just cleaning up these camps, because we've spent millions on cleaning up camps, but we should also focus on the people that are there. We have the McKenna House. We have different networks within the city with the Homeless Resource Center. We have the different homeless networks. We should be addressing those people there. And if they don't choose to be helped, then we enforce the laws.
We've been discussing with several of the candidates that we've interviewed tonight a loitering lawsuit that was brought by a Concord man and the ACLU of New Hampshire. They are suing the state over this loitering law that they say, as it's being currently enforced in Concord and across the state, it unfairly targets people living outside. Direct quote from the lawsuit, it's criminalizing unhoused individuals for simply existing in public spaces, is the language that they used. You've mentioned just now a number of nonprofits and organizations, non-governmental organizations that do work around homelessness to assist homeless individuals and to provide them with the resources that they need should they want those resources. What do you believe is the city's role in facilitating that process outside of enforcement?
So again, enforcement is the number one, because if we're not enforcing what's on the books now, then why even have a city prosecutor? Why even have code enforcement if we're setting up these homeless camps on private property and doing nothing about it? We need to look at the fact that these people, the resources are there. You can go to the Homeless Resource Center on a Monday, get a sleeping bag, a meal, and some fresh clothes. Leave that wherever you lay Monday night. Go back Tuesday and get the same setup. There's no accountability of saying, look, we just gave you that. Let's get working together. As a kid, I volunteered at the St. John's Food Bank. And there was people that came in, and I worked in the back filling the bags of food. But there was an individual that asked, what is your plan? What are you doing? We're going to give you the food. We want to help you. But what is your plan to help yourself? Right now, the McKenna House has open beds. But unfortunately, you have to be sober. You have to want to be sober to be in the McKenna House. You have to want to make a plan to get a job, eventually move out to get an apartment, and be a contributing member of society. I cannot just keep handing out and handing out if you don't step up for yourself. It's a two-way street. You need to be invested in your success also.
So it sounds like there is, you would encourage personal responsibility when it comes to these people who...
I have to do it for my household. They don't have a household, but they have to do it for themselves. I'm responsible for myself, my 2 sons, my wife. She's more responsible for me, but it's...
And so is there, just to clarify, is there anything specifically that you would see the city, that you would like to see the city do? We've discussed previously with other candidates tonight, encouraging the construction of affordable or low-income housing so that homeless people have a permanent place to live. Places like the Concord Coalition to End Homelessness's new facility with 10 units, housing 10 individuals who, like you said, would like to be housed. So what do you think is the city's role? So
we have that housing already. We have the Firehouse block, for example, right by the YMCA. And that is based upon what you make. I have a few individual friends that are living there now that don't have jobs. They pay nothing for rent. They have a place, they have nothing. And they still have a nice one-bedroom apartment, not a studio, but a one-bedroom apartment that they're paying nothing for. We do have the facilities. People need to be sober. They need to fill out the application, and they need to want to get better in applying to these places. Hodges has, of the 3,000, sitting here 2 years ago, 3,000 apartments are coming online in Concord within the next couple of years. 357, give or take, was the rough number that were going to be voucher, Section 8, low-income housing. Right now, those aren't full. You call up Hodges, and you just have to apply, but you have to apply and be sober. You have to apply and want to be a member of the community.
I think it's time to kind of move on. In your opening statement, you mentioned a frustration that development in Concord, I think you said, has come to a standstill. Today was the last day of the city planner, Anne Marie Skinner. She's leaving the city.
Gone, another one.
Right. In an interview with the Monitor, Skinner said that the city manager's office has persistently held up housing reforms, delayed projects with bureaucratic back and forth, and made some overreaching demands on developers. Do you think that Concord has a problem in the way that it deals with private developers looking to come to the city? And what's your response to her departure?
Working in construction, working with developers, I would say our lead developer in the city would be Steve Dupree, my 8th grade soccer coach, to be honest, great guy. And again, he develops and he invests in the community and puts it right back in. These developers that are coming in, I'm seeing that the Isabel Apartments, they still have openings. We've got openings and developers have put apartments here, but there needs to be more to attract them to come here. Our tax rate, we have a higher tax rate than Portsmouth, and they have an ocean. We don't have an ocean. We've got more state buildings that we're always can't rob Peter to pay Paul to tax on. So we need to look at different revenue streams, but when it comes to working with the city, I think of, for example, the Concord antique sign. A neon sign. We have so many ordinances in this town for messages and display boards and moving signs, and that cost $40,000 to the developer to put that there because it needed to go before committee to talk about it. A developer wants to come in, put a sign up, have a public hearing, vote on it. It's not just John Q. Public anymore going and saying, hey, here's my plot of land, I'd like to put a garage in, go to the planning board, get it done. Now you got surveyors, lawyers, and then all of a sudden the Historical Society all of a sudden comes in, talks about the color of the building. How many hands are gonna be in the pot? It's just so unattractive for developers to develop in Concord. Whereas other places in the state, they are boosting with their economy. Newport, New Hampshire is getting a whole new development, and it's being done by a construction company in Concord. We've got Portsmouth that just had a $70 million condo complex go in, and they've got 3 more breaking ground. Those are the things we need to see because that brings money to the city.
And so when you talk both about streamlining that engagement approvals process as well as boosting Concord. I mean, what's the council's role? What would you do about that as a councilor?
So what the state also streamlined how long it takes to get permits. And if something takes longer than 6 months to get a permit, the developer's lost interest. They need to, because they're paying taxes on that land from the day they buy it. You're not going to throw it into current use and then not be able to develop it. So when these developers come in, they either, one, they need to have a TIF district to make it incentivize them to come here, or two, make it so that they can get through that process faster and not go through committee hearing after committee hearing after this panel or that panel. Hear it, make sure it meets zoning. If it needs a variance, get the variance and get it built.
Okay. I think we're running up against our time here, so I want to pivot to a closing statement. You have a minute.
To the voters of Ward 9, my name is Andrew Georgievitz. I will show up. I've lived in Concord my entire life. I have a very active involvement in the community with Immaculate Heart of Mary Church, with Kiwanis, with helping out with Key Club at Concord High School. But I am here. I am present. I'm going to be voting on the budget. I'm going to be present. I'm going to be asking for your vote because your vote for me means that I care about your choices. When I stand before you at the polls and say, please vote for Andrew Georgievitz, it is because I want to see the city succeed as I saw it when I was a child. Thank you, and I ask for your support.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks for your time.
We want to also thank Concord TV for having us, and we will see everyone on November 4th.